Welcome to Kilroy's Outlaws and Legends Behind the Music with your host, multi-award-winning music producer, Eddie Kilroy. And now, here's your host, Eddie Kilroy.
Hi, I'm Kilroy. How are you today? I want to welcome you to this edition of Kilroy's Outlaws, Legends, and Beyond the Music. Beyond the Music is really where it's at because after 4 decades in Nashville, I am packed with stories to tell you about country music and what was happening there in my time and on through 4 decades. But today, I'm talking about one particular artist. Been on my mind a lot lately. His name is Mickey Gilley. The reason he's been on my mind, he was a lifelong friend. And I can say that truly, lifelong friend. I first met Mickey in 17, and golly, when I was 17.
In 17 or
no,
when
not
you
in
were
17?
17?
17. Boy, 17 make me old. Would that be 1817, 1917, or 2017? It happened to be. Whew, Lord have mercy, long ago.
Long time ago. In Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I started playing music with Mickey at a club called Lou's Lounge there in Lake Charles. I was playing bass, Mickey was playing piano, and a drummer by the name of Kermit Ryder. And then we went to Houston, Texas, and got a job playing at a little club called the Log Cabin on Spencer Highway, owned by a lady there that, a really nice lady. Her name was, last name was Necessary. Adele Necessary. Hard name for me to remember. Anyway, after I left and went to Nashville, oh, wait a minute. The Log Cabin, wow. That was a great fight story. All beer joints in Texas always have fight stories. This one's a little unique, however. We played 45 on and 15 minutes off. We had a 15-minute break. Mickey and I were sitting at a table, and we were talking about who was the fastest. Because Mickey and I used to go to the park and throw baseballs and throw footballs and have a lot of fun out there just being outside. And we were talking about running, and Mickey said, I can beat you running. I said, no, you can't beat me running. You're not as fast as I am, Mickey. Mickey was a smaller guy, and I was a big guy. And he said, I can beat your butt in a minute. Just get your butt outside. So I said, okay. So we got outside, and there wasn't a lot of traffic then on Spencer Highway. We got in the middle of Spencer Highway, and the whole crowd of the beer joint just poured out. And I said, okay, get on your mark. And they said, hell, we thought this was a fight. It's a damn foot race. Like Mickey and I were going to fight. Mickey's like a smaller guy, and I was 6'4", pretty good shape then. But, to this day, I don't remember who won the foot race. You didn't run, that's why.
Yeah, we ran.
Did you really?
Yeah, we ran the race.
I thought it was just an act.
No, we were actually
run.
going to go out there and see who was the fastest. But anyway, we had a good life together. And after we moved to Houston and playing, and before I went to Nashville, I had my first marriage. It lasted about 30 minutes. I was going to say it lasted 45 minutes, but that would have been a long marriage for me. Anyway, Mickey and I, both of our cars were broken down, and we didn't have a way to get out to the club to play, but his brother-in-law, luckily for us, was a salesman at Jacoby Lincoln Mercury in Houston, and got Mickey and I a job selling used cars. Well, that was a trip. 30 days we did that. The reason we did it is we didn't have a way to go to work out there to get to the club. And if we did that, we would get an old clunker and a $2 gas ticket. So we chose to do that so we could go play music at night. And the funny story is I never sold a car, not even the first one, but Mickey did. He sold the car.
And then what did he do?
Well, it was an older couple. And Mickey told them, said, you want to buy this car, but I want to tell you the truth. It's not a good car. Don't buy it. So that was typical Gilley. Just a nice guy. He said, I'm not going to sell that car to these old couple. The car's no good. They won't get 2 blocks down the road. So the moral of the story that after 30 days, Gilley didn't sell a car, and neither did I. I go to Nashville, decades go by.
I had been working with Jerry Lee Lewis, his cousin, produced quite a few hits with Jerry. And Jerry wanted to go back to rock and roll because there was going to be a rock and roll revival with Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, and they were going out as a package. So he wanted to hoop and holler and rock and roll. He was done with country. And I called Mickey and I said, Mickey, now is your time after all these years of doing Jerry Lee Lewis music in nightclubs. You need to record it. Hey, people will love it because it's proven that sound of piano and singing, all the hits Jerry had, you can go right in there because he's not doing country anymore. So here comes Playboy Records and said, Kilroy, we want to get into country, and as we check around, your name keeps coming up. Would you be interested in coming with Playboy, with our label, and making it a big country label? And I said, yep, I think I'd be interested in that. And they said, how do you get started? I said, you find a hit record. And lo and behold, here comes a hit record for him, Room Full of Roses. Mm-hmm. I signed Mickey Gilley to Playboy in 1974, and that record, Room Full of Roses, as you know, went number one. We strung out a lot of number one records on doing old songs because the great songwriters in Nashville didn't feel like that Gilley was quite worthy of one of their great songs. So I had to go back to old songs like George Jones' Wind Up Above, Carl Smith's Overlooked in Orchid. Gosh, I don't know. We did a bunch of, we had 7 number one records on old songs. And Dave Burgess brought me a song called Don't the Girls Get Prettier at Closing Time, and it was a demo on guitar vocals, all I heard, and it wasn't a very good one anyway. But I could hear through it for the song, and I was getting ready to do an album on Gilley. Getting material together, I said, here's a hit here, and I played it for him, and he said, no, that's not for me. That's for Waylon or somebody. It was in kind of a 2/4 time. I said, no, it'll work, Mickey. And there was a piano in the office, and I went over and played a little boogie-woogie thing with my left hand. And I said, now sit down here and do Jerry Lee Lewis on this song. Just put the lyrics to it. And he did. He said, wow, that works. So we went in and recorded it. And he took a copy of that. He was being booked by Conway and Loretta's agency. And he played it for Conway. Conway said, oh, no. Don't put that out. The women will hate it. Don't the girls get prettier at closing time? They will hate it. It will kill what you have going right now.
Why would they hate it?
Because I don't know why he wanted. I guess he thought it was putting down women or something. Because
that's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah, he was doing all those sex songs. Because women love sex songs, and I want to lay you down, baby, and stuff like that. That's okay. It worked for Conway, but it wasn't for Gilley. You got to help me on this.
No, I'm not helping you on that one at all. Well, you dig your way out of that hole.
It worked for Conway, okay? He said women love sex, about sex, not sex. To hear about sex, okay, are sexual innuendos. So that's why Conway did so many of those. But that's why he didn't like Don't the Girls Get Prettier at Closing Time. He thought the women would like it. They liked it, I guess, because it went number one and sold a jillion records. And
I liked it.
I know you liked it, and you're a woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most of the time.
Maybe Conway was right. I want to lay you down. Well, anyway, the whole thing goes. We put the record out. It became Gilley's career record, and we had many more after that. I think we had 17.
Yep.
17 number one singles. Yep. Make it big.
Well, he became a pilot.
Oh yeah.
Way back.
Way back. He was flying in Lake Charles. No, not Lake Charles. In Houston, before the big Gilley's Club. Mm-hmm. He had a plane and he was flying. And when he became a star, he bought a big plane that would carry the whole band. But it required a pilot and a co-pilot. Mickey being a licensed pilot, he could sit in the co-pilot seat, so he only had to have one pilot. But he traveled. He loved to fly planes. He loved planes. But Mickey and I were special. Mickey was so talented. I mean, part of his talent would lie with the way that he associated with his audience. And associated meaning he was always available to visit with them, sign autographs, whatever,
I've seen him wait until the very last person left.
Yep, he would not quit signing autographs until the last person in line left.
Nope.
And then he would go.
I have a question. Let's talk about how did he get into the big club in Pasadena called Gilley's?
Oh,
How did that happen?
That thing grew into a monster. I told you about the lady that owned the little club where we worked called the Log Cabin.
Miss Necessary.
Yep, she really liked Mickey and became very fond of him and said, hey, you're a star in Houston. I'm going to build a big, nice club for you. And she built the club called the Nashville Club. Oh, by the way, that's where Johnny Lee comes in because Mickey hired Johnny to open for him at the Nashville. So that's where their relationship began. But
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's true. And from
after all these years, that's a story you didn't tell me.
I missed that story.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Oh, I'll tell you another Johnny Lee story.
Well, we're not talking about Johnny Lee.
No, I was still talking about Mickey. This comes after the club, though. The guy down the road was not a good guy, but he had a concrete slab with 10 walls, and they would play polka music on Sundays. And he came to Gilley and said, I will build a club for you, or build a club and put your name on it, and it'll be called Gilley's, and you'll have half interest in the club. Well, Mickey couldn't turn that down, of course, so they built the club, and Mickey started packing that, and then they added on to it, and then they added on to it, and they added on to it, and it became the biggest honky-tonk in the whole world. It would handle...
Several thousand, wasn't it?
Oh, more than several. I think it maxed out about 8,000.
About 8,000?
Yeah. It was big enough where a person could stand on one side and the other side when it was empty. And you could see a farm over there, but you could never recognize the person. It was huge. And they talked about it being
mechanical bull.
Mechanical bull.
That was the beginning of that. Let's see.
Yeah, and the no fights. I remember no fights at Gilley's. Well, heck, there were 4 fights going on, but there were so many people you couldn't tell there was a fight going on. But there could be 4 at one time, and the pool tables. And then along came Urban Cowboy and John Travolta and the Mechanical Bull. And the movie was made, and then Mickey got bigger, and he got his star on the Walkway of Stars in Hollywood, and never changed one bit.
Well, gosh, he played, I don't know how many different shows he played in. Fantasy Island, Murder, She Wrote, I can't think
What was the one where Farrah Fawcett's some guy.
$6 million man.
Yeah, he did that.
Lee Majors.
Yeah, with Lee Majors. He started getting some of that, but he remained true to music, and that was his first love. And quite honestly, that was his first talent. Mickey appeared on all those shows, and I told Mickey, I bet when somebody saw you on those TV shows, they never said, wow, I didn't know he could act that good. Because you didn't act that good. Good you could have music to fall back on, Gilley.
Yeah.
But
well,
no.
I thought he did pretty good.
He did good. I'm just kidding.
I've seen some reruns of him, and, he wasn't an actor, but he did okay.
Mickey was probably the best pal I ever had.
Yeah.
He was a true pal. And we went to Branson to MC his memorial after he passed. So it was
and that was a big gathering, huge.
Oh, gosh, yes.
A lot of people turned out.
A lot of them. T.G. Shepherd came in for it. Jimmy Lee Swaggart, the evangelist.
Yes. There was a lot of people there.
A lot of named people
Jeannie
there.
Seeley.
Yeah, Jeannie Seeley was there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there.
Gave Mickey a big send-off.
Sure did.
Sure did.
Let's talk about that album, Over Your Right Shoulder.
Which one?
Gilley Smokin'.
Gilley Smokin', yeah, that was at the award show where we swept the awards. I say we, Mickey, best male vocalist, best honky-tonk nightclub, they call it, best nightclub. His road band was named the best road band.
Best album? Best
album of the year, single of the year, everything but female vocalist of the year. And I didn't think we would get album of the year because we're sitting there, Mickey's winning all these things, all these awards for this particular deal. And the album was in strong category. The Outlaws album, Charlie Pride had an album in there. It was all going for the best album of the year. So when they said, and the best album of the year, Mickey Gilley's Smokin', and I went, you got to be kidding, we won that too.
And what did you win?
Producer of the year.
Twice?
Twice, yes. Quite an honor. And
yes, I have the trophy that I have to, after all these years, I have to dust the thing.
It's sure getting dusty.
It's getting
It's a
agey.
bit worn.
It's getting agey.
And I'm too old to get another one because I don't understand the music that's going on that they call country, which I'm not saying is bad. I just don't understand it. Basically because I can't understand what they're saying. So,
oh, God.
That's okay.
I'm still kind of stuck in the used car business you two were in. With your proverbial gift of gab, how come you couldn't sell a car?
I have no idea, but I would tell people, hey, come look at this car. And basically, in Mickey's defense and mine, when you're working at a used car lot, you're not selling premium cars.
Well,
in those days.
No, but still, I
didn't sell a car.
You could sell an ice cream to an Eskimo. I mean, come on.
But you can't sell a used car.
Well, no, the Eskimo doesn't need a car, if that's what you're talking about. But anyway.
Visiting about Mickey is always a pleasure because we had so many stories. We did so many things together.
He was never a real star. I mean, he was a star, but he didn't act like a star.
You're right. I always described Gilley as the most unstar star that had ever lived. So he never acted like it. He was always just, I'm Mickey. I'm here to play music for you. I hope you like it, and I love you. And when he told those people he loved them, he loved people. He loved his fans, and he loved everybody he met. Mickey was that's strange to say that when I used the word everybody. That was wrong. Because Mickey met Larry Gatlin.
Oh, God. We're not going to go there, are we?
There was a big sign at the publishing company where Gatlin worked that Will Rogers never met Larry Gatlin. Truer words, never
I'm glad
said.
You didn't write that.
No, I didn't. One of his peers wrote that. But you know what? This has been a great visiting about my dear friend, Mickey Gilley. Not only did we have all the number one records that I produced on him and the work we did in the studio, but the friendship that maintained up until we lost him a few years back.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to wrap it up right now. This is Kilroy and Elizabeth.
Wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. See?
Wait a minute.
That's that woman deal. Wait a minute.
You got it. Wait a minute.
What is it?
Your email address will be on the bottom of the screen. So if any of you have any questions that you would like to ask Kilroy about, send us an email, okay? Send us an email. Any question, anything, it doesn't matter. And please subscribe to his channel. That
Absolutely.
would be a great asset, too.
Email us. I definitely will answer you, and I'll definitely do your requests if possible. In the meantime, adios. Thank you so much for being with you, and God bless you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Kilroy's Outlaws and Legends Behind the Music. If you have any thoughts or questions about the content, email them. Kilroy Outlaws and Legends, all one word, at yahoo.com. That's Kilroy, no S, Outlaws and Legends, all one word, at yahoo.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Third-party use of any part of this podcast without the expressed consent of Eddie Kilroy is prohibited. The Kilroy's Outlaws and Legends Behind the Music podcast is a production of Eddie Kilroy.